Welcome, everyone. You can have a seat. Thank you. Well, good evening. My name's Chad Dull. I'm the Dean of Learner Support and Transition here at Western Technical College. That's the division that oversees our GOAL program. Before we begin tonight, I'd like to thank the Cooley Celtic Band, wherever they went, for our musical introduction. Introduce you to the band members, Lynn Biddick, Audie Olson, and as I say every year, Western's very own Steve Meager. I'd like to take a little time tonight also to introduce the folks on the stage with me. First is Dr. Lee Rosh, the president of Western Technical College. Dr. Denise Vinovich, the vice president of student development and success, as well as our keynote speaker this evening. Dan Hansen, the chair of the Western Technical College District Board. Western Board member Sally Lister. Western Board member Ed Lukasik. Western Board member David Lane. And Western Board member Tom Smith. I'd also like to acknowledge a few other guests this evening sitting in our front row down here. I teased them and said it was dignitary row, but first is Mr. Randy Nelson, the superintendent of the School District of La Crosse. Next to him is Mike Swenson, the executive director of the Western Foundation. Sally Emerson, the alumni and foundation manager. Brandy Ortree, the associate dean of academic excellence and development. And Gary Brown, dean of the School of Business. Thank you all for being with us this evening. Well, Western Technical College has a long and proud history of helping people achieve their educational goals. Beginning in 1912, technical colleges were created to help high school age students prepare for the next step in their educational and career journeys. At that time, the focus was primarily job training. But in the 1950s, a flood of returning veterans came back and wanted to finish high school. And that began a steady increase in enrollment for our evening high school program. Even at that time, people had begun to realize that a high school diploma was a necessity for success in the work world. So you fast forward about 10 or 15 years, and in the late 1960s, the Goal-Oriented Adult Learning Program, also known by the acronym GOAL, was created to award general education diplomas, or the GED, high school equivalency diplomas, the HSED, local high school district diplomas, and adult high school diplomas. Since that time, this program has grown to become a leader at the state and national levels and a benchmark program across the nation for helping students begin and continue their educational journeys. This has been a unique year. I'm looking at the students in front of me, and you know that you were challenged by either finishing a test that was going away or jumping into the deep water and taking a brand new computer-based test in a whole new format. I'm pretty excited to tell you that not only did Western students take that head on and succeed, they excelled. Our students completed the old test at a better than 90% success rate. All right? Hey, that's worth some applause. And the brand new, big, bad, scary new test has kind of rolled out slowly. But an interesting thing that we've learned recently is that as of 2 weeks ago, there had been 92 GED credentials issued in the state of Wisconsin on the new test. 29 of them happened through Western Technical College. We're very proud of whatever role we've played in your success. At this time, I'd like to invite the president of Western Technical College, Dr. Lee Rosh, to the podium.
Thank you, Chad, and congratulations to you, graduates. This is one of the special evenings of the year for me because of some things that happened tonight that are very unique, but very much part of the mission and purpose of Western Technical College. It's part of our DNA. Every one of your stories are unique. But you know something? There's a couple common themes, and I'd like to highlight those as well. First of all, one of the common themes about your success involves the staff and the volunteers in the GOLD program. And I'm saying something that you already know. These are some very special people, aren't they? They come and do things to help you willingly as much as they possibly can. And I'd like to ask the staff and volunteers that support the GOLD program, please stand now and let's show our appreciation for them. There's another common element too. I can almost predict assuredly that none of you would be here this evening if it wasn't for the support of your friends and family. I'd like to ask you, please stand and let's us show our appreciation. Please. As Dean Chad Dull said, this is a very unique year, isn't it? Because of the conversion from the former testing system to the computer-based system that we now have this year. And I guess that's progress, isn't it? That's what happens in the world. It happens in the work world where you're either in right now or you're preparing to move into. But change is a challenge in itself. And I commend you for taking the steps to get the job done and then not to kick it down and hope that things are going to work out sometime in the future, to get it done this year. This is the all-time largest completing class for GED, HSED at Western in our history. Congratulations. I would like to say one other thing too. You know, this should prove to you that you've got what it takes. For whatever your individual story is, and for whatever reason that you weren't here years ago, it doesn't make a difference if you take what you've done today and as you've proved to yourself what you can do today, and you take it to the next step. I strongly encourage you to continue your education. Don't stop now. Don't stop now. Continue, because the education and skills that you acquire from here are going to be the ones that pay off in career opportunities, better income, a better life for your family. And now you know you can do it. Whether you come to Western, whether you continue your education in another organization, I wish you the best of success. Forever, you'll be a part of the Western family. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Rosh. As always, we appreciate your support. So I think there are a lot of stories to tell here, right? And ways to understand the power of what this group of people have done. And maybe the best way to understand that is to let some of you tell your stories. We're very fortunate tonight that 5 outstanding graduates were not only willing but brave enough to come up here and tell us a little bit about their journey to tonight. Our first speaker tonight is a graduate from the Sparta GED Center. Please welcome Janelle Campos.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
As some of you may know, this is my very first time giving a speech, so please bear with me. This is my journey through high school. As I entered my high school years, I was homeschooled. Being homeschooled wasn't the best way for me, seeing how my mother and my stepfather were at work all day. So I didn't take it very seriously. Then I moved to Sparta from Black River Falls, so I was closer to my father because of his health issues. As I started high school at Sparta High School, all was okay, but I just didn't feel like I fit in there. so I decided to stop going. My father didn't like that very well, so he got me into the Sparta Area Independent Learning School. I really enjoyed it there. It was more one-on-one with the teachers, and you worked at your own pace. Everything was going great, but then I found out I was pregnant. Again, I quit school, so I could give my daughter all of my undivided attention and watch her as she grew. Right after I had my daughter, I found out I was pregnant again, so school was definitely out of the question. I've always wanted to finish school, but taking care of my daughters was and still is the most important thing to me. Is more important to me than my education ever was. One day, 7 years after having my first daughter, my husband and I decided to go out to eat. We debated and debated about where to go, so I suggested Doreen's Family Restaurant. I wanted my ham and cheese omelet. As we sat down, getting ready to eat, there was this very nice, respectful man at the table next to us, and that man just so happened to be Pete Perkins. He started asking my daughters about school and how they liked it. Then he started talking to me about my education. As I explained to him about my past with my education, he suggested I come down to do my HSED brush-ups. He said that he would take me under his wing, and that's exactly what he did. I started going to school in September of 2013, and by December of 2013, I received my HSED. I couldn't be happier with the way it all happened. It was a sign and was meant to be meeting Pete at the restaurant. Pete, Mary, and Terry are very amazing people and stuck by my side and never gave up on me. So I'd like to give a huge thank you to Pete, Mary, and Terry for believing in me. I really, really appreciate it. And please never forget that. I'd also like to thank my family and my friends for being my support team, being there for me along my whole journey. And last but definitely not least, I'd like to congratulate my fellow graduates. Way to go, you guys. Okay.
Thank you very much, Janelle. I imagine your children, it's a big night for them to be proud of their mom. Our next speaker is a graduate from the Toma campus. Please welcome Daryl Campbell.
Oh my. As I look out over the crowd here, I can see already that I'm old enough to be most of your grandfather. But that's okay. I just waited a little bit too long to get back to school. 48 years, in fact. I went into the military. I thought at that time, I was back in the 1970s. And I thought at that time that was the thing to do. And that's what I did. I went into the military and forgot about my education. And along the line, I got off track a little bit. And drugs and alcohol kind of took my life over. I struggled with that for many, many years. I got sick of it, got tired of it. And I went to the VA and asked them to help me, and they did. I went through recovery. I had counseling, and somebody made a suggestion to me, why don't you go back to school? I said, I'm 58 years old. All those kids would laugh at me, you know? But it wasn't that way. It wasn't that way at all. I'll tell you something. For me, this is the highest achievement to this point in my life that I've made. Education is the most important part of our lives. We teach our kids teach us, and we learn from society what we need to get by. I'm a Vietnam era vet, okay? And I'm proud of that. And the people at the VAF, which is not connected to the VA, but works with the VA, have some people there that are very good at their jobs and helpful and loving and caring. In fact, there was a few of them sitting out in the crowd out here. Andy, forget about it. I just got a few more things to say. I don't want to hold up the parade here. But, dreams are very important. Don't put your dreams down. Believe in yourself, because nothing is impossible. Nothing. If I can come out of 25, 30 years of drug abuse and get a GED, you guys can do much more than I did. I got a little quote for you, okay? And this is from Dr. Seuss. By the way, my mom taught me how to read on Dr. Seuss books. Today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Also, I have one from Albert Einstein. I guess I had to say that. The world is a dangerous place to live in, not because people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. It's up to us to make a difference. Now that I'm sober and focused, and I've got my GED, and by the way, last semester, I did a last semester of college, carried a 3.5 grade point average. And lastly, I would like to express to everybody how important a social society is. And you all know what I'm talking about. Those little things that you carry in your hands. It's going to hurt us eventually in the future. We get caught up in that technology, and you forget about the warmth of a face-to-face conversation with your family, with just people alone. If you remember anything from what I say here tonight, emotion, warmth, and touch are the three most valuable things a human can achieve. Congratulations to you all. You earned it.
Thank you, Daryl, and thank you for your service. Our next speaker is also from the Sparta GED Center. Please welcome Scott Colbo.
Good evening. We made it. I would like to first start off by thanking the teachers, parents, and people who have motivated us to overcome the obstacles that we faced during our educational years. It is not easy for me to stand up in front of you and talk about my high school experiences. And yet, I am today addressing all of you. If it wasn't for Pete Perkins, Mary Welch, or Terry Shore taking the time to say, "See you tomorrow," I wouldn't be here graduating with the rest of you. I couldn't thank them enough for all that they do. So, I thank you. This is not the first school that I have attended, and I understand that more of us graduating have gone to other high schools. The class of 2014 would understand when I say that the teachers at Western Wisconsin Technical College care about us. All the teachers here have been super outstanding. I can now say when I fill out a job application form that I have a high school diploma. I hope that the class of 2014 will go out of their way to help people in need the way the teachers have helped us. I would like to applaud all of the graduating students here tonight. We all need to applaud our accomplishments. It was not easy, but I know that everyone has learned from this Western Technical College experience, and we'll use these experiences to build our futures. You can do whatever you set your mind to. Don't ever say I can't. It is one of the worst things you can tell yourself, because you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Here's to the class of 2014. I hope the best and brightest future for you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Our next speaker this evening is from the La Crosse campus. Welcome to the stage, Taher.
Good evening, families, friends, instructors, staff members, and graduates. I'm Ta, one of the 509 program students graduating this year. I'm from Laos, and I have been living in the United States for almost 3 years. This is an honor for me being able to stand here to speak to all of you. We all know that education is very important. It is the only key that can open a bright future for us. I still remember when I was new in the United States. I couldn't understand or talk to people. It was really frustrating to be someone who couldn't read and write. I was so afraid to go out because I was afraid that people would come and talk to me. Then I entered the 509 program here at Western in August 2011. I have to say that throughout the years that I have joined this group, it has been very tough for me, but it was always filled with excitement, and every day I learned something worthwhile. Now I realize how much I have learned in these years. School is very challenging for us because English is our second language. But we just learn little by little. And I'm a mom with 2 children, and that makes it even harder. I came to school in the morning and went home 30 minutes before my husband went to work. We did this for all of my school years. This life is hard, but I'm not giving up. My graduation tonight is only the beginning of my journey. I will use this step to find further education. I'm going to continue on with my school and earn a degree in the next 4 years. I want to tell the students who are still in school that we have to put into action what we really want to happen. Don't say you will do it tomorrow. Do it when you can, even if the result doesn't turn out well enough to satisfy you at first. Take every chance you get to grab what you want while you can. I know it is difficult, but I did it and you can too. We all will go forward in life. So please, let's make life better together. I want to thank all of the people who have always supported me. First of all, I want to thank my husband, Sulor. Thank you so much for taking care of our kids for me. You encouraged me. You said it is okay for us to suffer now, that our lives will get better once I'm done with school and have a good job. Also, I'm glad that you ordered me to go to sleep early every night so that I could learn and study the next day. Secondly, I want to thank to all of my teachers, Carol Reeder, Carol Anderson, Kathy Bottle, Pam Anderson, Cynthia Grant, and many more. You are the best teachers I know. I'm so proud that I'm one of your students. Thank you for your hard work. You did everything to ensure that we students learned English as much as possible. You corrected us every time we mispronounced or misspelled a word. We never got tired of it, but we were afraid you would. Thirdly, I want to thank to my parents who live far away in Laos. You remind me to be a better person every time you talk on the phone. You told me I have to work hard to help myself. You remind me to work hard so that I don't have a hard life like you. To my husband, teachers, and parents, thank you so much for making me who I am today. I want to let you know that I will continue to improve myself and continue on with my education. Lastly, I want to thank Western Technical College. Thank you for the programs and the opportunities you provide for us. The time I spent here is the most beautiful, joyful years of my life. And I know that the environment here is the most amazing one. To the graduates, we are finally done, and we deserve this reward. Congratulations to us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ta. Our last speaker this evening is also a graduate from the La Crosse campus. Please welcome to the stage Julia Farwell.
There's a lot of you. It's such a strange thing that you can go to school for such a long amount of time and not really have it put into perspective until you're standing here in the cap and gown. After such a long amount of time, being in class every day kind of becomes second nature, although waking up before 8 a.m. never does. Your teachers and classmates become your family, and the school and classroom become a place of comfort and safety. And I don't think a single graduate with us today isn't going to miss at least one small detail of their time spent here. However, now we have an amazing opportunity. Now is the time that we get to take all the education that these wonderful teachers here have given to us and make something of it. We get to put our new knowledge into action on our own path and really begin life for ourselves. Many of us will further our education. Some of us will begin careers or travel the globe and have families and adventures, but no matter where we go or what we do, we will all do it with a head full of wisdom and a heart full of pride of all the wonderful memories and people that we've met and made here. An unexplainable gratitude is expressed towards our teachers. I personally thank Amy Delagrave and Sherry and Dewey and Arlene are out here somewhere, I know. Thank you for working so determinedly with us through our early mornings and bad days and always standing at our sides for the good ones. Thank you for pushing us to always do our best, and thank you for preparing us not only for new tests, but for life itself. As we say goodbye today, it's not only an end, but a beautiful new beginning. I wish you all happiness, excitement, and love in what's to come. And as said by Edward Koch, the fireworks begin today. Each diploma is a lighted match, and each one of you is a fuse. So graduates, now we get to shine. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Julia. No need to run. You did great. Thank you again to all our speakers. As I'm always just struck by even in the different ages and stages of life, the strands about perseverance and resilience and overcoming. We feel lucky to have you here. How about one more round of applause for the speakers? Well, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce this evening's keynote speaker, Dr. Denise Vinovich. Denise grew up on the south side of Chicago, where she lived above her father's machine shop. As a young person, she worked a variety of jobs, including lifeguarding, selling shoes and sewing machines, as well as being a bank teller after high school. Her first position at a technical college was over 30 years ago as a member of the clerical staff at Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College. She came to Western 27 years ago and has worked in and learned about many areas of the college. Denise became the Vice President of Student Development and Success in 2004 and holds that position to this day. It's an extremely challenging and important position at the college, and it's mostly challenging because she's my boss. And she's very nice to me about it. So, Denise's educational journey has included attending Wisconsin Indian Head Technical College, Northland College, UW La Crosse, and lastly, St. Mary's University, where she earned a doctorate in educational leadership. Aside from being an obvious lifelong learner, Denise shared that her passions are her 3 grandchildren and riding horses. Please welcome my good friend and mentor, Dr. Denise Vinovich.
Good evening, graduates.
Good evening.
Thank you. And your proud families and friends. I have had the honor of sitting on the stage for about 10 years now and have seen hundreds of graduates walk across the stage. And I am in awe of the journeys that you have taken to be here. And I sit here and I think how lucky I am to be here as a result of the journey that my parents took. So I want to tell you a story about my watch. Yeah, a watch. It's my mother's watch, and it's a symbol, not a status symbol, although it does have an impressive brand name, but a symbol of struggle and achievement. My mom grew up on the south side of Chicago in the projects, and in the 40s and 50s, her family was on welfare, and when you had welfare in the 1950s, they gave you cheese and white bobby socks. My mother hated those white bobby socks because every time she wore them, everybody knew that her family was on welfare. So she worked to help support the family. She worked in a drugstore full-time while going to high school full-time. You know how hard that is. And she was thinking of dropping out of high school. And her sweetheart, her high school sweetheart, my father, was trying to talk her out of it. Mostly, I think, because he needed help with his English. Because English was not his primary language, his first language. When he went to school for the first time in kindergarten, he was sent home from school with a note pinned to his shirt that said, Dushan may not come back to school until he learns English. So he learned English. And my mom stayed in school, and they both graduated. And Dad went into the service. When he got out, they got married, started a family, and started a tool and die business. We lived above the machine shop on the south side of Chicago on a very busy highway. And my dad had his business and a second job. And my mom worked in the office and in the home, and all to make ends meet. Because their goal was to make a better life for their children and to be able for their children to go to college. So they worked very, very hard. And the business was successful. And they sold the business for a profit and bought the watch. Unlike the socks, she wanted everyone to see the watch because she was very proud of it, because it was a symbol of her struggle out of poverty and a better life for her family. Mom said, Denise, you go to college, you achieve your educational goal, and I will give you the watch. So I went back to school, went back to school, and worked full-time as a single parent. You know how challenging that is. And several years later, on graduation day, Mom gave me the watch. And she had it inscribed. You can get it off. She had it inscribed, and it says, Dr. Denise, 10/13/2001. I cherish this watch, because it meant so much to my mother, and it means so much to me. My daughter doesn't know it, but I'm going to challenge her, too, so she can get the watch. And maybe my grandchildren, too. Yeah. So about 10 years ago, my mother died of a massive heart attack at the age of 72. It was a surprise. I had no idea. The week before, I called her very excited. I said, Mom, guess what? I'm the new vice president at Western Technical College. We laughed, we cried. She was so proud. Thank you, Mom, and Dr. Rosh, to help me achieve my goal. As my achievement was important to my mother and my daughter and my grandchildren, your achievement today is also important to your family and the communities that you live in. Your journey has taken many detours to be here, but you made it. Congratulations. So I challenge you today, all of you, to set a new goal. And if I might suggest, Western can help you along that pathway for more successes in your life. Oh, I see by my mom's watch that my time is up. So congratulations on your achievement. You are role models for the many people around you. May your journey continue to be a successful one. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Denise. I got no words, which is rare. Okay, so it is. I also understand more of our meetings now, this whole challenge thing. But okay. So before we move on this evening, I'd like to just recognize a few additional staff members. First, if Mandy Church-Huffman could stand up over here. Mandy has organized this event tonight and done a wonderful job. If you could thank Mandy for her time. I also would like to congratulate, although in a way it makes me a little sad. We had 5 staff members at the end of this year choose to retire at the end of rather illustrious careers. We were looking at the numbers and were amazed to find out that they represent nearly 100 years of experience and dedication in helping students learn. It's interesting when listening to our student speakers tonight that clearly the driving force is your connection to your teachers. So as happy as I am for these folks to move on to more exciting things for them, it's tough to see them go. But I'd like to thank Cynthia Gran, who's been with the college for 26 years. Kathy Bartell, who's been at Western for 19 years. I'm not sure if Cynthia Weisinger is here, but she has been with us for 13 years. I believe Terry Shore's name has been mentioned a couple of times. Terry's retiring after 17 years at Western. And lastly, Lana Brookman, who's retiring after 16 years at Western. Thank you to all of you. There are big shoes to fill. Now, I'd like to ask Mr. Dan Hansen, Chair of the Western Technical College District Board, to give the charge to the graduates on behalf of the board.
Well, if anybody knows me, they know that once in a while I deviate from the program, so I'm going to say just a couple of things. This is the beginning for you. The stories are what make me energetic and caring about this organization. To become a board member, you have to go to a public hearing and be basically questioned by elected officials from each one of the counties that we represent. And the question always comes up, why do you want to be on that board? And I remember about 10, 11 years ago, I knew Denise before I came here, and she says, you got to come to this event. She says, you'll get a good idea of what Western's all about. And I've used that line and that story for all of my 3 reappointments to the board, because it's the truth. And there's one thing that no one, even the board members and Dr. Rosh and Denise and Chad, no one know, is that you and I have something in common. In 1967, I got my GED. And I can only tell you what you have in store for you is whatever you want it to be in store for you. You've got an open door, the barrier's removed. I attended a number of schools, went back for different things, including Western, over my career. Couldn't have done it without that GED. Cherish it. So with that, the graduation ceremony tells the world that you're ready for the next step in your life. It says you have completed an important part of your learning process. We congratulate each and every one of you on your completion of this phase of your education. And I want to echo Dr. Rosh and Denise and Chad by saying, y'all come back and see us. Because we do have the best instructors and the most caring group of people that I've ever been associated with. The culture at Western here is unsurpassable. Tonight, you've reached a milestone, and you should be proud of your accomplishment. I mean, proud of your accomplishment. But as you look into the future, remember these words from Norman Vincent Peale. Every day, remind yourself your own ability, your own good mind, and affirm that you can make something really good out of your life. That nothing can stop you. I see that in your faces. You're a tough group. On behalf, the world will become a better place because of it. Go forth and enjoy the opportunities that lay before you, and don't let nothing hold you back. I don't think the English department appreciates that, but on behalf of the Western Technical College Board, congratulations on your achievement. Each of you has met the needed requirements, and I am pleased to recommend the class of 2014 for graduation. Please rise.
So we're getting to the good part. Although I do have to admit, I've never felt like I was in a public speaking contest and coming in dead last before. It's been a pretty good day. So I'd like to invite Cynthia Grand to the stage. Cynthia will be announcing our graduates this evening. Graduates, if your ushers will give you directions on coming to the stage. Welcome, Cynthia.
Janelle Campos. Daryl Campbell. Taher. Scott Coble. Julia Farwell. Calvin Wright. LaShonda Farmer. Crystal McDaniel. Amy Bauer. Sarah Fogel. Carrie Serda. Crystal Anderson. Ashley Cleveland. Jennifer Gammons. Patty Foster. Tanya Ellis. Okay. I have a little class there for this one. Tabitha Janiwico. I need a little class there. Yeah. Okay. Lori Slauson. It's the writing. Jordan Harper. Jordan Bradley. Saled Cruz. Okay. Cassandra Rivas. Angela Grovidito. Jeremy Nikolai. Mystery Hodges. Joel Lopez. Kia Yang. Mai Ka Yang. April Rogers. You have to show me. Lavelle Parks. Sir Abraham Gallegos. Brian Lund. Joey Markland. Theodore D. Smith. Kelly Gilmer.
Same way as my sister.
Tiffany Gilmer. Alicia Masigan. Dwayne Schwartz. Mackenzie McClellan. Savannah Matuski. Maria Colburn. Gemelin Gonzalez. Aaron Dummer. Micah Dummer. Charles Thomas. Trevor Bohannon. Amanda Luther. Kira Lean.
Kyra Lane.
Kyra? Sorry, Kyra Lean.
It's a big name. It's the hardest job in the whole thing, so I'll tell you that.
Craig Smith. Nice, easy name. Zachary Cole. Brandy Dovenberg. Shakuria Estes. Rebecca Peck. Jacqueline Ross. Tamara Bowman. Nice. Wiley Erickson. Let's see, Mario Montalvo Razo. Okay. Mario Montalvo Razo. Congratulations, graduates.
We really only have one event left this evening. Graduates, please take your tassel. Move it from the left to the right. You are graduates. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. I would ask that family and friends stay seated while the graduates exit. We do have a reception in the lobby we'd hope you can stay for. This space is also available for pictures, and I was told the flowers are first come, first serve if folks were looking for extra ones. So thank you everyone and have a good evening. Graduates, the ushers will show you out.